Hey guys, so as you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be about suicide. I'm really sorry for bringing this up right before Christmas. I didn't really think about it until I sat down to do this, and I was like, wow, I'm literally talking about suicide 4 days before Christmas. My bad. But it is something important to talk about, so let's just get into it. So in the US, 80% of suicide victims are male. It's a pretty shocking statistic, and we actually see this phenomenon happening worldwide, with men all over ranging from 3 to 7.5 times more likely to commit suicide. This is a huge problem, and it's something that really is never addressed. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about why it's never discussed or addressed. I think it's pretty obvious. We live in a culture of disposability when it comes to men. Men are seen as disposable, they're dismissed, and their needs are not often accommodated. All you have to do is turn on the news, and anytime you hear about civilian casualties during wartime, they'll cite the number and they will highlight the fact that women and children are included in this number, as if that makes it somehow more gruesome, when in reality, a death is a death, but we seem to revere female life and the life of children, and rightfully so, but I feel like it should be extended to men as well. You can also look at Canada right now with their policy of turning away single male Syrian refugees that are seeking asylum. Obviously, that's a controversial topic, but I feel like if they're going to let people in, why are you letting in women and children but not men? But that's a completely different topic. So we don't really have a good grasp yet on why men seem to kill themselves so much more often than women. There's a number of empirical studies out there kind of rating the happiness of men as opposed to women, and by and large, women have always been the winners, I guess, of this, and they've always been happier, but I think there's a lot more to it than that. Just being unhappy or just being less happy than women isn't enough to push someone over the edge to kill themselves. There hasn't been enough studies for us to really get a good grasp on it, but what I do want to talk about is the feminization of mental health. So as you guys know, I have some experience in the field of psychology. It was actually my first major when I got into school, until I kind of realized it definitely wasn't for me. So first off, it's important to note that men, to begin with, are much less likely to actually seek out a therapist or a counselor in time of need. But when men do actually go and, seek the help that they need, they find themselves within a structure that is geared towards female ways of healing, female ways of communicating, and female ways of problem solving. The system is set up in a feminine way. The standard in really any therapy session is to build a rapport between the client and the therapist. This is effective for women when it comes to problem solving, because the natural biological way that females tend to solve problems is by building relationships to overcome the problem. The way that men tend to solve problems is to undergo a task, complete it. So clearly the idea of sitting in a room and talking to someone about your feelings and your issues and your emotions is not particularly appealing to men. So it's kind of easy to tell men, oh, you need to, reach out and get help, go see a therapist. But they face help that isn't geared towards their sensibilities or their methods of healing, then what's the answer? The field of psychology is also vastly populated with women. The majority of people who receive psychology degrees and to go on to become the therapists and the public health employees, or I should say mental health employees, are women. So I don't think that's obviously to say that women can't help a man overcome his issues, but I think it is worth noting that these men are going to seek help from a system that is geared towards female healing, is overwhelmingly ran by women, and I'm just not sure that's the best thing. So it's really frustrating to me that we live in a climate where there's all this discussion of gender politics, and these conversations often include things like manspreading and mansplaining and catcalling. And we have this huge elephant in the room, 80% of suicide victims being male, and we're not talking about it because it is a rising problem. This number has risen throughout the years, and what are we going to do? Just ignore it? So until I see you guys next time, I'm signing off, but I do want to thank everyone who has subscribed recently. I didn't really think anything of starting a YouTube channel, and it's pretty much grown a lot faster than I thought it would. So I just want to say hi to everyone and thank you for all the awesome conversations, and I will see you guys next time.